2020 is an interesting year for FSU football. They just got rid of their short-term head coach, Willie Taggart, and hired on Memphis head coach Mike Norvell, who has an uphill battle in front of him. FSU has faced a steep decline into mediocrity over the past couple of years, but the new blood pedigree still remains in the program. Norvell has come in with a plan to Tallahassee. His offensive scheme is robust and successful. Let's take a look at what he's trying to do to bring FSU back to its rightful place on top of the college football ladder. On offense, Mike Norvell loves to vary his formations and personnel more than you might see in an average spread system. He often places a tight end in the formation to increase the surface area along the line, which gives the defense an extra gap to fill and can really add stress to flowing linebackers. His offense also emphasizes utility in his running backs. He will often line up with two of them in the backfield, and he can use them as lead blockers in the running game, as route runners in the passing game, and don't be surprised when he lines them up behind center for some wildcat. In order to pull all of this off, he brought in a lot of versatility this year at the running back position. Some names to look out for are Jashaun Corbin, Lawrence Toafili, and Ja'Kai Douglas. This versatility in the backfield allows Norvell to get creative in his running scheme. Look how this playside guard pulls to the outside on this play to get an extra man at the point of attack. This is an old wing T concept called down that you really don't see often anymore, especially in spread teams. However, his bread and butter running play is the outside zone. This continues the theme of really stressing linebackers. In the outside zone, the linemen take their first step to the sideline, and their goal is to beat their man to the outside. This stretches the gaps and makes it difficult on linebackers to come up and help in the running game. The complexity in the running game allows Norvell to keep the passing game relatively simple on his quarterbacks, and it looks like James Blackman will be that quarterback for the foreseeable future. He's constantly hunting for good matchups and man coverage, so don't be surprised when he lines up Tamarrion Terry, a larger receiver usually placed on the outside, in the slot position to take advantage of a weaker nickel corner. A way that he can guarantee a man matchup on his receivers is through the use of run-pass options, otherwise known as RPOs. In these plays, the quarterback has a choice between handing the ball off to a running back or throwing it. This opens up big passing lanes as the linebackers are so concerned with the threat of the run that they take themselves out of coverage. RPOs can also be run with screens. This can often catch the defense off guard, and Norvell likes to use these in third and short situations. But if he does get the matchup he's looking for, he's going to pull the trigger. He has shown time and time again, if you over-adjust to the running game, he's going to take advantage. Now let's move on to defense. The defensive coordinator that Norvell brought with him from Memphis is none other than Adam Fuller, who has a knack for improving defenses wherever he lands. He runs a base 4-2-5, meaning he has 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 players in the secondary. But what really sets him apart is his emphasis on hybrid players. These 3 guys are what makes Fuller's system click. Let's start by looking at the Fox. He is a stand-up defensive end who always lines up on the short side, otherwise known as the boundary side of the field. In an ideal world, he is a mix between a traditional 4-3 defensive end and a linebacker. In other words, he should be able to rush the quarterback and drop in coverage. The next hybrid defender is the stud. He plays this outside linebacker position, but he has to be agile enough to cover slot receivers. Because of his quickness as a linebacker, the stud plays on the wide side of the field, as he can generally cover more ground than the will linebacker, or weak side linebacker. Both Amari Gaynor and Kalen DeLoach should find some time in this role. The final hybrid defender is the buck safety. This player is the boundary side safety, or the short side of the field. This safety will often be asked to perform all of the coverage responsibilities of a safety, but will often be asked to roll into the box and make a difference in the run game. Look for Jaden Lars-Woodby to be a natural fit in this position. Besides formation, the defining characteristic of Fuller's defense is his aggressiveness. He likes to say he wants to play offense on defense by forcing the offensive hand with pressure. Extra blitzers should generate more one-on-one matchups with FSU's talented D-line, which includes Marvin Wilson, Corey Durden, Joshua Kaindoh, and Robert Cooper. This aggressiveness means that he has to trust his secondary and man coverage. However, there is some talent back there as well. Hamza Nasruddin, Asante Samuel, and Miko Dotson should make a big impact on defending the pass. It's hard to look at this coaching staff and not be excited. They are competent coaches all around, but there are some major hurdles to overcome. The offensive line still looks to be a below average unit, and many question James Blackman as the leader of this offense. In addition, the wacky offseason and constant distractions have made a tough job even tougher. However, the cupboards aren't completely bare at FSU. There is some talent there, and Norvell and company have proven before that they can squeeze all of the potential out of a group of kids. Honestly, no matter what happens this year, Norvell deserves some kind of pass. But if he is able to pull a rabbit out of his hat, he deserves all the credit in the world. A lot of these topics are covered in much more detail in earlier videos on my channel. Make sure to check them out. We have a lot of other good information about the upcoming season on Tomahawk Nation. Please support the channel by liking and subscribing. Thanks.